And this afternoon to 2LF, we welcome the guys from Ol''55. Welcome along, fellas.
Thank you.
A long trip from Sydney.
Where is it? Boyd, are you any relation to Boyd George?
No.
I was just wondering.
No.
Yeah, we have had a long trip.
You have.
We're very exhausted, actually.
You look at, I asked myself when I first saw you, I said, how are the guys going to go on stage tonight? I really don't know.
We're used to it, actually, doing long trips as a part of the game, so it'll be no problem to us at all. We psych ourselves. We do a Bert Newton. Have you ever seen Bert before the show? Long face, As soon as the cameras come on, Bert's all smiles. That's what we're like.
We're speaking with Pat, incidentally, or Pat's speaking to us. And also in the group we have Jeff. Welcome along, Jeff. You're the young one of the group, or the new one, I should say.
And the young one, that's it, radio listeners. Evening.
How long with the group, Jeff?
Almost 2 years coming up for my second birthday with the band.
How did you get into it? You just tripped over
They tricked me. No, the guys were just looking for a drummer. I was working with Cole Joy at the time, and I decided I'd been with Cole for long enough, and I heard the guys looking for a drummer. So,
would you have seen much more of a change working with Cole and then working with the fellas?
Yeah, for a start, I play a lot louder, and plus the audience tends to be a little bit younger. Cole plays a lot of clubs and all that sort of stuff, but he was great to work with, but that's good.
Here, Smokey, jump up on Daddy.
Heaven is my woman's love.
Right. But you're glad to be with the fellas now, of course?
Yeah, it's fine, yeah, it's really good. It's much more fulfilling being with Ol''55. What the thing has developed since I've joined the guys is the songwriting thing, like writing songs to the band, which I find really satisfying. I didn't get an opportunity to do that with any of the other bands I was in, and I find that's probably that and the playing, the sort of music I like playing is probably the two most satisfying things about joining Ol''55, which is great.
Your first time to Young then, I guess, because of with the band?
No, I've been with Young at least once before.
Oh, dear.
Actually, my current flatmate comes from Young.
That's right.
That's right.
Details later. We also welcome along Rockpile. I guess many people would be familiar with Rockpile, but I wasn't without the glasses, Rockpile.
Yeah.
How are you? Really good, thanks, mate. Yourself?
Oh, not too bad. I'll just get a bit closer to this microphone.
Might be an idea too. I guess people are familiar with not so much the name Rockpile, to a certain extent, but the voice, because it is a little distinct, isn't it?
Yes, it is little. Yes, it is. Yes.
Do you, with the songs that you've done in the past, your voice really does come through. Do you?
Well,
yeah, was singing like that.
Yes. Well, so that's mainly my part in the band is the vocal side of it. The guitar thing, sort of,
Just an added talent.
Yes. But I think that's the main thing that we sort of work on is the vocal thing.
Yourself and Pat, I guess, would have been. I'm not too sure about. Well, welcome along, Terry. Incidentally, I'm sorry about that, Terry.
Terry.
Look, I better bring this in too. Terry also manages the band. Perhaps I should ask the other guys how well.
How well he does it.
Yes.
Very well. He's actually very cruel and, he really gets the whip out occasionally, but he's doing a reasonable job,
Yeah.
Actually, he's very good. There's very few bands, in all seriousness, that can be managed by members, and I think a few overseas bands like Fleetwood Mac and who else?
Queen do it?
The Queen actually do, but very few bands are capable of doing that, so we're very lucky to have Terry in the band. Did I say that right, Terry?
Yeah, perfect.
Right.
How do you find it too, Terry? Do you find it really demanding? I mean, not only playing in the band, but also managing the band?
Yeah,
Big job, Terry.
It is. It's enormous, isn't it? I really don't know how I manage these sort of things.
I may just explain to listeners, it was through Terry that I had to liaise on before the band came to be interviewed. We didn't have a record, and Terry went out, searched high and low, and actually sent us his own
Went to the
personal...
post office, licked the stamp, put the stamp on himself, and actually stuck it in the little hole in that red box they have outside of it. Yeah, it was pretty good. Thanks.
Anyway, do you enjoy... What would you say you enjoy more, the managing side or playing?
I think I enjoy both because you get a whole different perspective of things. Because I've worked in the business for a long time, so I enjoy the business side of things. But I still enjoy playing because you've got to enjoy playing to do it.
We'll get back to the history of the band. When did you all first originate, start up, form? How many members?
Original.
Well, Pat and Ron and Terry, would you have been the instigators of the band, or?
Yes, we were actually, yeah.
How long ago are we looking back at?
Well, you're looking at 9 years. 9 years, not too loud with the 9. I was only
15.
I was 12 years old at the time, being the youngest band member in any band in the world, and we kicked off around the surfing regions of Cronulla in Sydney.
In the garage.
playing at garages and parties and
Wine bars.
picnics, wine bars and things like that. You know, the big stuff.
Bar mitzvahs, things like
Threw
that.
us straight to the top, you know. And the manager came along one day and said, "You guys are going to be enormous." And we said, "Sure." And we managed to have some releases on records and things. We were very lucky. And
That was at that stage, was that in the early part with Mushroom?
yeah, that was Mushroom signed the band. Actually, that was a funny story behind that because Michael Gudinski never saw the band and signed us.
Without seeing it?
Without seeing us.
What about...
Ray Evans actually signed the band, and Ray told Michael how good we were, and Michael came back to see the band and said, "What are you talking about? What have I done?" And Michael had a heart attack, and then the band temporarily went off the road for a while, and we formed with Terry, and Jeff came in a little bit later, and we sort of got things going again, so it's been good.
You say you've been going for 9 years. How many singles are we looking that you've released in that time?
12.
Yeah, 12 singles.
And albums?
4 or 5, is it?
All 4.
4.
There was one album, correct me if I'm wrong, because I've been corrected in the past, but there was one album which was you had a very big promotion.
Very nice.
You had a very big promotion for, if I remember, and I never forget, it was televised.
Yeah.
There was a big promotion, especially on sounds, if I remember correctly. Donnie was there, and with his eyes open too.
Yeah.
And,
almost.
which that was...
78, I think, a few years ago. But that was... You're
album
very
were we
good
looking at,
on your Ol''55 history, Boyd.
Oh,
Very
well,
good.
just, I mean, I have taste.
Well, that was the Cruisin' for Bruisin' album.
Cruising for the...
And we did all this massive promotion, and it was unbelievable. The album jumped straight into the charts, then it jumped straight back out again. No, it went gold, actually. It was quite successful for us.
Which is good for you, too.
Yeah.
And, of course, some of the singles to date, some of the successful ones we're looking at, On the Prowl would have been perhaps one of your first big ones?
That was the first big one. That was our second single, actually. Diana was the first one, which didn't do a great deal. And
On the remake, of course.
Yeah, and On the Prowl just went crazy for us. That really established the band.
What do you think did that?
Well, there's a bit of a vibe, in the industry about the band at the time, and, we were just very lucky. Everything worked for us at the right time. We had some good people in the band and around us, and it was just, everything was done properly and everything worked well, and it just all happened. It was unbelievable.
I'll tell you what, speaking of On the Prowl, it might be an idea if we pause now and have a listen to it.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, why not? Yeah.
Give me your rat I saw you in there, kid, and you were with the rest of us.
Oh, what a song.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, you should have been here to listen to that and be with the guys to... Unbelievable.
You played well, Jeff.
Actually, it was, yeah.
Good, mate.
Good drums down this little studio here.
Geez, your vocals were good.
Who did the Frankie vocals? Very clever there.
Yeah, very good, Boyd.
Thank God. Welcome back to Ol''55, and if we may talk about the material that you've been doing over the years. You was early in the part, you started off with Diana, which was a remake, but you also came across with a few that were originals.
Yeah, I think that's very important. That's one of the reasons why we've been so successful, because most 50s bands or sort of revival bands don't do much original stuff. In fact, I don't know any that do in this country anyway. And I think that's why we've been successful, because we have been able to come out with our own stuff, as well as playing, the old ones, which everyone loves, and we love them too. So, plus we've done some funny things, like we've picked up on some really old, unusual, obscure songs, ones that no one really knows about. Not too many people have probably heard, and we rehash those and do things with those.
Do you find that most people will be looking at, was Two Faces, Have I one of those?
Yes,
consider one of those?
Yes, it was.
I mean, I'm just speaking myself. I hadn't heard it before, and then everyone heard Ol''55's version. Ran to the stores to buy it. Well, I ran.
Did you run, or did you walk?
I think you ran lived a long way from the store. I wanted to get there very quickly, but Mum walked.
Did she?
Yeah, Mum walked. But I hadn't heard it before, and of course, I guess most people would think, an original Ol''55, and perhaps that would have helped the selling aspect?
Well, I'm not too sure. Like, you're right, people aren't aware in some cases that we haven't written some of the songs, but we have written probably most of the ones that have been successful.
Can we name a few of those?
Well, On the Prowl, I would say that, wouldn't it? Stay While the Night is Young.
Summer's Night.
Yeah.
What else?
There are some.
no, Rocking Christmas?
Yeah,
Rocking Christmas.
You're looking at songs that aren't original. Two Faces is one. Lou Christie originally did that. He's supposed to be the man with one of the highest voices in singing, rock and roll singing. Looking for an Echo was one that we didn't write, but we were the first band to have success with it. It was written by a fellow in America, Richard Rychek, and he was ecstatic getting all these royalties from Australia. He said, "What's going on?" And I thought none of my songs would get anywhere, and Looking for an Echo was one of those.
How did you actually come across that particular song?
We
Again,
found
sifting through your material and...
Glenn Baker, who was managing the band, who's an expert on music and rock and roll, found it for us, and he assured, this is going to be a monster. And we had a listen to it, and said, really? And it turned out to be just that. That was the song that established Take It Greasy going platinum 4 times, so we were very lucky with that.
As a result, your respect for Glenn A. Baker would obviously be fairly high.
Yeah, it is.
As it is, I think, right throughout the entire industry. That guy really does
very good.
seem to know his music. What about tonight's show, of course, at the Young S&C Club? Wow, we're really looking forward to it. We've been waiting for so long.
Yeah.
What are we going to be looking at? Apart from, Jeff really getting to the drums, of course, to prove
Jeff,
that...
tonight, is going to establish a world record, right, for drum solos. Like, his drum solo tonight is going to be absolutely unbelievable.
Not to mention his yo-yo playing.
Yeah, he does some funny things on stage. We
multi-talented too.
He can do anything, He's the bronze medalist for the Olympic Games in Los Angeles for the yo-yo. You probably didn't know that. And he's going to demonstrate some fabulous techniques.
I noticed the gold medal around his neck.
Yeah, so it's all happening.
So they've got a lot to look forward to tonight.
Yeah, it's not going to be just music. Like, we're going to put on a real good show tonight.
What I was really impressed about was the fact that you are also playing for the underaged, that don't get into clubs too often. Is this a habit of yours? Do you do this often?
We like
Think
to.
about the young people?
Well, we've been playing lots of shows, and we see kids turn up, and they really enjoy themselves, Probably a lot of people wouldn't realise that because, we're Ol'55, and I think, kids probably wouldn't get off on it. But they really love it, They really do. So we thought we'd play to the kids because they obviously don't get the opportunity to sort of come to too many shows. And, we're going to play for the kids.
That gets underway at 5:30, am I correct with that?
Right.
For the young ones? And then after 9, the more mature or oldies
the older people
come along.
Alcoholics.
And we can...
And by the way, it's both shows will be almost identical. There'll be very little difference, so, it's, the kids get the same as what the adults
kids get all the same value as everybody does.
Yeah.
And of course you said this isn't the first time that you've played in Young. How have you found the audiences in the past? Because believe you me, they speak really very, very highly of Ol''55. They say if you want to see a band where you can have a lot of fun...
Well, really, to be honest with you, last time we played we were absolutely overwhelmed by the response. It was phenomenal. And that's why we're back here again. But every time we've played in Young, the audiences have been superb, really good audiences, so hopefully tonight's going to be the same.
A busy schedule on with live shows and everything, but how about a new album or a new single to be released soon? Anyone like to comment on that, perhaps? Terry?
Yeah, well, it's on the way, boy. We've had a problem in the last couple of years with a recording company that disappeared off the face of the earth, but they still had a contract, so we were sort of pretty bound to that. We finally got out of it earlier this year, so we're in the middle of negotiating with 2 major record companies in Sydney at the moment, and we've got the material. We've had, we do demo tapes of the material and then take it to those companies, so the material's already been recorded. Once we sign a contract with one of those companies, we'll go in and re-record the material, and hopefully I think we should have a single out about mid to the end of October, and an album that'll follow pretty quickly after that.
No titles as yet for the single or the album?
Not as yet, because once again it sort of relates to the whole thing relies on timing. If there's a whole string of ballads out at one time, it might be a good idea to release a ballad. So we've got a pretty good cross-section of material, and whichever we feel is going to be the most successful at one time, we'll probably release that.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's not bad, is it? Yeah, I thought of that last night, actually. That was,
Perhaps we'll take a vote on it.
How do you feel there with you?
I want to call the LP Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
It's good.
Nice.
It's
Not bad, yeah.
It's worked
No, it's
before.
too long.
Perhaps we could
It's
go
worked before.
Perhaps, I mean, you'd all, because being individual members of the band, you'd all have your ideas. Are there any favourite songs that maybe at the moment you do, Jeff, that you really enjoy?
Yeah,
Favourite track at the moment that you maybe play live? Or?
Here we go.
Oh yeah, my drum solo. That's my drum solo. That's probably the best number the band does.
But perhaps that might...
Definitely.
Well, what about music?
Oh. No, still the drum solo. No, definitely.
Rockpile would certainly, I mean...
Oh, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Drum solo.
100%, yeah.
Perhaps that's the idea for the new album.
Well,
Well, drum
exactly,
solo.
that's what it is.
Jeff,
actually,
drums
just
for you.
one whole drum
Listen,
solo.
these guys love the drum solo because they go and have a Coke and sort of have a cup of tea or a chip or something, and while they're sweating away with a drum solo.
Teeth in the jar for a little while.
Yeah.
Actually, his drum solo gets superb reaction, really. We're jealous, Actually, we might do some blow his drums up tonight halfway through. But actually, what we're going to do to him, just between sort of you and I, Boyd, is, in the middle of his drum solo, just dismantle his drums until he's left with just one little cymbal and see how he handles the pressure. I think that'd be nice. Jeff, what do you think?
I could do anything, Pat. I can enthrall an audience of thousands with one small bell.
Is that a fad?
You do it often.
No, unfortunately.
Dear. Well, as long as the police aren't around when you're doing that, I'd say. Might be an idea. We look forward to tonight's show really well.
Right.
And of course, you're all looking forward to it.
Yep.
Yeah, both of them.
Whereabouts after tonight?
Wangaratta. Wangaratta.
Oh, down south.
Wangaratta. It's only a short tour this one. We're only spending a bit over a week away. So after that, we're going back to Sydney to do some more recording. And then we head off. Where are we going to head off after that? Queensland. Yeah, Queensland we'll go.
Can we see you back in the area in the near future?
No, I don't think so. No.
Definitely not. Sorry. This is it.
We really do try and get back here as much as we can because, believe it or not, Young is really one of our favourite towns.
Yeah.
Because we've done quite a few shows here and they've all been great. We like the people of Young and they seem to like us because they keep coming back. So it's just one of those towns we like to get to as much as possible. Trouble is, it's a really big country and we go to a lot of places.
It is, and when you...
Yeah, we try and get back here at least once every 12 months.
I guess that makes it very hard too when you're travelling via the road.
It's very difficult when you're travelling in the same car as Jeff, Rock and Terry, it's a real problem because you start to hate everybody in the car except for myself, of course, and touring with these guys, to be perfectly honest, is a real headache.
How long do you envisage, before we finally go, how long do you envisage the band really staying together, hanging around for a while?
About 10 centimetres.
Future projects?
We're hoping, because people have asked that question before, and like when we first started the band, we were talking about 1 year. If we could go for 1 year and have a one hit record, we'd be happy, and then sort of bail out, But it's just been going on and on. But we really do enjoy it. I think that's the key to it. Yeah, we were talking about that the other day, and we were talking about another 2 or 3 years at least, So who knows? It could go even longer.
Pat, thanks for coming along.
Thank you, Boyd, for having us.
Thanks, Boyd.
Rockpile?
Thank you.
Will we be talking much next time?
No, don't say much.
Perhaps saving the voice for tonight.
Yeah.
Man, a few words and they're saying a lot.
Well, and of course, what else can we say? But Jeff.
A man of a lot of words, and that's not saying very much at all.
It's not about the confidence of the band.
Thanks for coming along this afternoon, and we look forward to a really good show tonight.